the largest chip manufacturer in the world has had their semiconductor supplier shut down. All right, this is a very serious event, and it's due to a cyber attack. They're saying it's going to affect them $250 million in a single quarter, which is just 3 months. $250 million they're going to lose in 3 months from this massive cyber attack. All right, we've also seen a town in New York has been under a ransomware attack for months. Months. All right, this is crazy. And we are looking for a big one. We had Klaus Schwab warning just yesterday. I made a video on it. He is warning of a quote black swan event. So we need to be getting prepared. He's also warned of cyber pandemics, all right? And he was saying that will make the last few years look like a minor inconvenience to what comes next. So let's break down why this is so critical, why these semiconductors are so special, are so critical, because they're in everything in life. They affect everything. And I put this picture here because this is the Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, and he was even visiting this exact company just a few months ago. All right, you can see in the background says Applied Materials. He's with the CEO there. Just a few months ago, at the end of 2022, he was visiting there because he knows this is the biggest chip manufacturer in the world, and it's critical to America's infrastructure, and it's critical to America's manufacturing. You can see here, semiconductors are embedded in more than 1 billion credit and debit cards, okay, and the ATM machines. These are critical for everything. Those little chips that are now on your debit card or your credit card, those little gray squares, those have semiconductors in them, super small semiconductors, and that's actually a computer chip that's interacting with the kiosk when you put your card in. All right, so these chips are everywhere, and if the chip manufacturing gets taken offline, then we are in serious trouble. They are also critical for phones, cameras, televisions, washing machines, refrigerators, light bulbs, everything, all right? They are everywhere. And Biden was even warning, okay? This was a couple months ago too, at the end of 2022. He was saying that, quote, hollowed out U.S. admits dependence on China in arming Ukraine, fails to supply, quote, tank buster missiles. And that's pretty much saying that we are dependent on China for these chips and for this equipment that we are even sending to Ukraine. So this is a major gap from this supplier being taken out. This is a major national security risk as well. And you can see here, U.S. President Biden talked about the problems faced by the U.S. in supplying missiles for Javelin anti-tank systems to Ukraine because of the shortage of computer chips required to manufacture them. So we are sending all of our weaponry over there, and all of our chips over there inside of these weapons, and we are in the middle of a chip shortage right now. So Biden himself was even warning just a few months ago how serious of a national security threat this is for the United States having this chip shortage. And the U.S. even implemented these massive sanctions on China at the end of 2022 to clamp down on their chip production. All right, they essentially forced all the chip manufacturers, the individual people in China and the engineers, to decide, are you going to renounce your U.S. citizenship, or are you going to come back to the United States and only produce chips for the United States? Because if you want to continue in China, you have to renounce your U.S. citizenship. And this was a major hit to China's, this was a major brain drain to China, because all these engineers were forced to leave, and a major hit to the Chinese economy. And China wants to get revenge. Was China implementing these cyber attacks? All right, it's very possible China has high cyber capabilities, but it also could be, who knows? It could be any group implementing this. This could be a globalist group as well. We've seen Klaus Schwab just yesterday warn of black swan events, okay? So it could be groups like that hiring groups to implement cyber attacks or staging cyber attacks. And here's some more details, and then we will get to this New York town that has been locked down for months. This is crazy. But you can see here the attack on MKS highlights one fear several cybersecurity experts have expressed in recent years. As larger companies get better at securing their systems, attackers will target smaller, weaker links in the supply chain. This big company, all right, Applied Materials was fine, but their main semiconductor supplier to build all their chips got ransomware attacked, all right? So they're saying the weaker links are going to get hit. And it says, as we witnessed last year, interruptions in the semiconductor market can have long-term consequences that impact everything from automobiles to the price of food. Quote, these attacks on the semiconductor supply chains deserve a lot more attention than the latest balloon incidents. All right, that's what this CEO was saying here. I mean, I think the balloons were kind of important too, but it's definitely one of these things. A major cyber attack is coming, and the balloons could even be implemented to implement a EMP or a cyber attack event and take out the grid, take out the internet. We could see the balloons even used for that. All right, so I think it's all important, but I definitely think the supply chain is getting hit one after another. Let's get into this New York town here. All right, they have been offline for months. This is crazy. This keeps happening all over America. These towns keep getting hit by ransomware attacks. So here's the headline: Suffolk County starting to restore online services amid months-long cyber attack. This is coming out of CBS New York, February 17th. It says, the county has been suffering through a massive cyber attack for months, but progress has been made to restore security. Quote, the clerk's office has been deemed clean and we are able to start to restore online services. It says Social Security numbers of 26,000 county employees and driver's license numbers of 470,000 were exposed or accessed. The unfortunate reality is that cyber criminals had more access to the clerk's network than county IT ever did. This is the other big vulnerability is they want to implement a digital ID, a digital currency system, and one of the ways they do that is everybody's stuff is exposed. Everybody's stuff becomes vulnerable. These cyber attacks happen more and more. Everybody's numbers, everybody's driver's license numbers, social security numbers become exposed more and more. This becomes more prevalent. We need a solution more and more. And we know that the main solution that they are going to throw in our face, because they've already done this time after time, is digital IDs, digital tracing, especially when it comes to online. A lot of countries, even like the UK, a lot of countries in the EU already have a system like this where nobody's anonymous. There is no like anonymous YouTube account where you're just like, whatever, you're like Patriot 5,000, you know what I mean? You're not like any name or anything. That doesn't exist. You can have a name, but they know exactly who you are, and people get in trouble all the time for just stuff that they say online overseas. It's happened dozens of times. People make jokes, and they want to have this system worldwide. They want to have a digital ID and a digital currency worldwide so they can track and trace all of your movements. And also a carbon credit system is going to be implemented in the aftermath as well, okay? And that will be allotments on all of your energy. That's why we see all of these shortages. That's why we see everything being destroyed, because they want to engineer shortages to engineer a control system on top of that, okay? There's less resources, so we need to control these resources, and we are going to have allotments for these resources, and that's going to be through carbon credits, all right? That's what you're going to see, and it's going to be credits for driving, credits for your food, credits for everything, and this is all tied to it, all right? These leaks, these cybersecurity breaches where tens of thousands, 470,000 people have their driver's license numbers leaked. Like, you have to use your driver's license to verify tons of things. And now almost 500,000 people just in one county have had their information exposed. So make sure you're getting prepared. We could see a massive reset happen soon. And make sure you hit that like for me, hit that sub, hit that bell, hit those comments. It helps get the video out to more people so we can get this message out to more people, warn more people, and get more people prepared. All right. So thank you guys so much, and you have a big old blessed day.